For me, it's not trying to control it. Not trying to control making it look the way I want it to look. It's just being the conduit, in a sense, you know, and just being open enough and present enough to let it flow however it's gonna flow. It's all about being present. Because when I'm trying to control it, that's when things don't pan out the way they're supposed to pan out. You know, like we don't have any control in life in general. The only thing we have control of is our choices. You know, it's the same thing with the art. Just letting it come through and come out how it wants to come out. You know, and when I get into that space, then it's like time ceases to exist. It's just like a little bubble. Like this studio is just like a little bubble from the outside world. I kind of started dabbling in art where I'm born and raised, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ended up in San Diego. The shop that I was working at, I was there for, I don't know, a couple months. And they gave me keys. And I would go in on the weekends and just play, you know, just make stuff. And through this whole time, I was like slowly getting my own tools and whatnot. And got into a relationship and fell in love. But she ended up breaking it off with me. And I really thought I was gonna die. And I just had to stay busy. So every day when I got off of work, I would just pull all my tools out and I would just make stuff. So I wouldn't think about how bad I was hurting. And it just consumed me. The sculpture just consumed me. It was like I went down this spiral of broken heart and then started creating and creating and creating, and then there was a why in this spiraling tunnel to feed my soul with art or continue hurting and being in pain from the heartbreak. And I went down the one with the art. That's what saved me. That's definitely what saved me. Like I've been doing a series of hearts. I just went through a very intense relationship and a lot of reflection and introspection. So a lot of emotion goes into some of them, well, goes into all of them, but some of them are really intense where I go through all of the emotions. Like when I did the piece for the Love Show, I went through all emotions. I was sad and I cried and I got angry and I wanted to throw stuff, and I was happy and I felt lots of fear because I was reflecting on like, what does love mean to me? And that's what came through basically. Just needed to get that emotion out of me and into the sculpture. So I used to be very intense and angry. And it was when I was living down in San Diego. And I went with a friend to a party, a girl from his school, and she had a party, and went over there and we were hanging out one night. She had 2 snakes. And I was just mesmerized by them. And she was like, so do you want to hold one of them? I'm like, yeah, sure, definitely. So she handed me the snake, and I was holding the snake, and this peacefulness and this groundedness just washed over me. And all of that intense, angry, hateful, just energy was gone. And the next day or two, I was reflecting on it, and I was like, I should probably get a snake, because it was just so grounding for me and just kind of brought me to peace. She was a baby when I got her. She was probably about that big when I got her. She was tiny. She's grown quite a bit. She's very calming for me. Very calming for me. Something about her, or about snakes. I think the first snake piece that I did was an Ouroboros piece. I think I'm drawn to the Ouroboros because I'm constantly wanting to change and grow and evolve and become a better human being while I'm having this physical experience. And with the Ouroboros, it's a constant recreating, rebirth, rejuvenation. It's eating its tail. As you can see, it's kind of fading away here. And then once it eats its tail, it comes back around, and it's the next cycle again and again and again and again. And for me, always wanting to grow and change and be a better human being, better person, it's the snake shedding its skin. And I think that's one of the reasons why this is my spirit animal that calms me and grounds me, because I'm always constantly shedding old skins, if that makes sense, you know? Or doing my best to shed old skins, old ways, old patterns. In a way, it's a battle for me of doing it because I love to do it. It feeds my soul, and charging money for it. I mean, how else am I going to survive? You know, so it's always a battle for me. But it seems that when I do it and I just let go and create because I want to create, then doors do open up. It's really interesting. It's really interesting of being mindful of it. Living from here rather than from here. You know? Living from the heart and the soul rather than living from the head, the ego. I don't see it as that I'm the one that's doing the sculptures. I'm just the conduit. Everyone's having this physical experience. Everyone's from the universe. Everyone's part of the cosmos. We're just stardust. You know? So we can be connected to it and manifest whatever we want to manifest. But it's being open to it. And it's finding the thing that, for each individual person, finding that thing that truly feeds their soul. And doing it and going for it. For some people, it may be music or poetry or helping other people. If it makes you happy, then that's what we're here to do. That's what that person is here to do. As my father says, the only thing that separates us from other animals is that we can convince ourselves of anything. It feels really, really good to share it with people, to see the reaction that comes out of them. But that's why they're being created. That's why they're being brought into reality, is for other people to experience and enjoy. And hopefully get something out of it. Feel something different, to feel something, have an emotion behind it, to have a aha, whoa, I never thought about that. To help people wake up. To help them experience something different. To have a change within themselves. Or a change within the world.